Hello Motorrad World fans and welcome to this episode of Scoop or Poop. It's been a very long time since we've done one of these episodes. That's because pretty much everything for 2023 is signed, sealed and delivered. But in this episode, we're going to be talking about 2024. Yes, news kind of just broke today, actually, of this rumor of a certain Franco Morbidelli being ousted, being booted out of the Factory Yamaha team for 2024 and replaced by Jorge Martin. Now, you look at that and you think, why would Jorge Martin give up essentially a Factory Ducati bike for a underperforming Yamaha? And you would have a valid point. But there's a lot of traction behind this rumor. I started doing some digging, spoke to a couple of people inside the paddock with some of the connections that I have. And this might not be as far-fetched as we think it is, or as some of you might think it is. Let me explain. Franco Morbidelli, we know the dismal performances that Franco Morbidelli has put on this year in particular. Just hasn't been a good year and a half really for Franco Morbidelli. People forget he won the last race at Valencia. Heading into this Valencia weekend 2 years ago, 2020, had that great battle with Jack Miller, and he came out the winner in that race. Was runner-up in the championship not so long ago. That is far from the Franco Morbidelli that we are seeing these days. Just looks like a defeated man, a man with no answers on how to make this Yamaha work anything like his teammate Franco Morbidelli is. And I've been a little bit disappointed with Franco Morbidelli because I've always been a fan of his. You know, I like the nature of the guy. I love the way he went about his Moto2 stuff. I like how he came from European 600 super stocks and. But even in all his media debriefs, just doesn't look like a guy that's fighting hard, clawing at everything to try and find a solution. He just looks like a guy that's just got his head in the clouds and very clueless, to be honest. So he's had a dismal, terrible, awful year in that Monster Energy Factory Yamaha team. Had what was looking like a decent Sepang, and then just silliness. Made, first of all, those mistakes in qualifying and practices where cruising on the racing line yet again, getting those long lap penalties, and then in the race, shoving it on the inside and putting a wing into the side of Valencia Spargo. I'm still on the fence about it. You know, last lap at that kind of corner, it kind of invites you to shove it on the inside. Morbidelli, it was a little bit harsh, especially when they went on the camera angle on the shoulder of Valencia Spargo, and they showed this Franco Morbidelli coming out of nowhere and shoving it on the inside. But anyway, look at it however you may. He's got a long lap penalty going into Valencia now for that incident. So, you know, Yamaha were kind of looking at it going, yeah, Frankie, we're finally getting a little bit of old Frankie with, you know, fast race pace. And then he just does these silly little things. And Lynn Jarvis and Mary Garley have since come out after Sepang and had a couple of little digs at Franco Morbidelli, which suggests that you know, it's hard to believe that things are rosy there with Franco Morbidelli or Yamaha in general with what's happened with them. But this rumor, what really makes it interesting for me is, apart from the fact that Franco Morbidelli is just not performing, and Yamaha surely will be looking at this going, you know, right, who else can we get to replace Morbidelli if he carries this terrible form into 2023. Now, Jorge Martin, why would he be a candidate? Why would you want to give up a Pramac Ducati? And let's not forget, he's on a Factory Ducati contract. He's on a Factory Ducati MotoGP bike. Ducati have come out and said he'll be on the same bike deal as Enea Bastianini will be in 2023, who's in the Factory team, who they chose over Jorge Martin in the Factory team. And this is what brings me to the point. And this is what kind of gets my mind going, thinking we could see this move potentially happen. Jorge Martin was slapped in the face by Ducati. He was told he was going to have the factory ride for 2023, and then at the last minute had the rug pulled from underneath his feet, and it was given to Enea Bastianini. In my mind, rightfully so, but Enea Bastianini has proven the better season campaigner. We all know Jorge Martin, how stupid fast he is, and he proved that at Sepang once again. Just missing something is Jorge Martin, and it might be something to do with up here, because he just can't put it all together. He's ridiculously fast, we know that, but you have to have the complete package, which Enea Bastianini has proved. You know, third in the World Championship, more race wins than Jorge Martin. Not too sure how he can really complain about that, but he has complained. And he was snubbed by Ducati in many ways, and he has come out and said he's not happy. So I think that has really left a sour taste in Jorge Martin's mouth. And if Factory Yamaha come knocking, why not entertain it? But I think, of course, and this is just a general consensus, and I think it's pretty obvious, that he'll look and see if there is this big progression that we are all expecting. Certainly Fabio Quartararo is expecting from Yamaha in 2023 with a faster bike, a more competitive bike. If Yamaha can bring that out and Franco Morbidelli doesn't do what is needed, Jorge Martin might look at a full factory Yamaha contract over what is essentially a full factory Ducati contract, but not in the full factory Ducati team. And this is something that Jorge Martin, he still came out with a couple of words in the one press conference earlier in the year saying, if I can't get a factory ride with Ducati, I might look elsewhere. Then there was talk that he might go to Repsol Honda, and we know that he's since signed with Pramac Ducati, like I said, pretty much on a factory Ducati deal. But could that sour taste just be too much? Could his relationship with Ducati just be over? And could this deal of Jorge Martin going to Yamaha Monster Energy Factory Yamaha MotoGP in place of just a drained and exhausted, confidence knocked Frankie Morbidelli, I think we possibly could see this happen. So to me, a year in advance, could this be a really good scoop, or is it just poop? Let me know what you think, judging on what I've just gone through, and of course your own opinions. A second little part to this scoop or poop is a big announcement is set to be made by the RNF Yamaha / Aprilia team for 2023 this weekend at the Valencia race. And it is that this rumor that we've all heard, Max Biaggi is no longer with Philip Oetel in the Moto3 team. That relationship kind of died down. The rumor is that Razlan Razli will be announcing Max Biaggi as a team director, team partner, co-owner of this RNF Aprilia team to run the team and manage the team. We know Max's ties with Aprilia. He is an ambassador. He is Mr. Aprilia in many ways. Razlan needs and wants someone to come in and kind of take a little bit of the reins away from him. Max Biaggi would be perfect for that. But the main reason would be Max Biaggi bringing his Sterile Garda money along with him, that big sponsorship that he's got, which Razlan Razli is desperate for since With You pulled their sponsorship. So another scoop or poop. I think it's scoop. I think the announcement is going to be made that Max Biaggi will be the new team director / half team owner / Razlan's sidekick, right-hand man guy in this new RNF Aprilia team. This will be great news for Miguel Oliveira, who I'm sure since a couple of months ago, since the announcement was made that With You have pulled out of the sponsorship, I'm pretty sure he's been, just like all of us, what is going to happen with this team. That'll be a good piece of news, knowing that Max Biaggi will be joining the team and potentially bringing all the resources that he comes with in terms of money, sponsorship, experience, and with him to the team. That'll also benefit, of course, Raul Fernandez, who will be alongside Miguel Oliveira in that RNF Aprilia team. So that is it for this episode of Scoop or Poop. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it as far and wide as possible. Let me know what you think. And remember to join us live on the Motor Rider World Facebook page the Monday after the final round of MotoGP for 2022. Can you believe it? Valencia, the title decider. Will it be Pecco? Will it be Fabio? Which corner are you in? I love both guys. Like, I feel so bad. I want Pecco to win it, then I'll feel terrible for Fabio. I want Fabio to win it, then I'll feel terrible for Pecco. I do think Pecco is the man in form. He's on the right bike. It's going to be a mountain to climb for Fabio. So let's see how it all plays out. Either way, it's going to be very, very exciting. I can't wait. So join in the live Talking MotoGP show that we'll do on the Motor Rider World Facebook page, live from 8 p.m. South African time. Join in, have your say. Let's talk everything MotoGP from the final race of 2022.